I'm sitting here with Dr. Marcus Rogan today, and we're very excited because he's going to come back to emerging themes to do cathartic breath work early in the morning, not too early. I made it a little bit later this year, and I wanted to see how he got from driving race cars last week to cathartic breath work.
Well, look, I you might really ask yourself, why the would I want to get up at 7 a.m. to show up to breath work when I could just be sleeping after a great day at a conference and getting ready for another day of a conference? And if you want to stay in bed, please do so. But if there are times that you can't really sleep, and if there are times that you lay awake in bed and wondering, what is my subconscious really saying? Then I want to invite you to come to this breathwork session because it's going to be me. And I'm like your boring, super achievement oriented alpha male who just stands there being dominant, right? I've won Olympic medals, I got a doctorate, so I'm really good at that world. But there are two other people who are going to help us. One is an Iranian hostage negotiator, and the other is an IV drug user who loves heroin. He's in recovery, but he really understands the dark side of the whole experience. So the whole thing is going to be a dance from the regular conscious world deep into the subconscious. And yes, it's early, but the best things happen in the dark.
I love that. But can I just ask one thing? So I
Yeah,
invited you to one of the events, and you told me you're going to be coming back from driving race cars.
yeah, yeah.
Can you just tell us about the driving the race cars? I'm very excited about this idea of fulfilling our adrenaline in new ways.
So I use race car therapy for a very simple reason. I find that a lot of people get their rush from very expensive cocaine. And I think, why not just replace the cocaine with a race car? Because then it's actually neurochemically the same experience, but it's an earned adrenaline rush, which I think is much more sustainable. So I take people who struggle with, using various substances to show them, hey, there's another way to get an actually better, more sustainable, and more earned rush. So that's why I spend a lot of time giving race car therapy.
Oh, I love that. When I was turning 40, I jumped out of a plane, and,
Oh.
and the plane door, it said Humpty Dumpty was pushed. And there was this camera on the wing, and it was filming me. And I could see the fear in my face, later. I didn't see it then.
Yeah.
And it was such a best experience for me because, first of all, once you jump, that adrenaline rush was something that, again, maybe that cocaine or something else. But it also, I had to deal with going that high and then going that low, which is also a really good thing for addicts, I would imagine. But then the biggest thing for me was to see that fear on my face and the guy pushed me out for sure because I wasn't jumping at that point. But to
Mhm.
see that how I did face my own fears in my life. And because if I had looked at the look on my face, there would been no way I was going out that airplane. And so I think all of these lessons are really great for people who are dealing with their behavioral health and addictions because we don't know these things about ourselves.
I think for anyone, and I think the biggest mistake people think is they think first comes the courage and then you have these experiences. It's the other way around. First comes the experience and then you have the courage. So of course, if you weren't afraid, then it wouldn't have been worth the experience.
And I only did it once.
So far.
I just think that was a one and done for me, although it was over the Finger Lakes in New York. And if you've ever been in
Yeah.
New York over the Finger Lakes, it's like the hand of God, and it really was the hand of God. And it started me out on this the right before I moved west. So it was a very cathartic moment.
Well, I think it's exactly these peak experiences that's where life is, or where the message from any higher power is. It's these
Hmm.
low experiences, these fear experiences, it's these dark experiences. It's also the pure joy. That's where life is. It
Hmm.
emergence.
I love that. Well, that was really all I wanted to talk to you about was to get people to come up on Friday morning, and I think it starts at 7:15 for the breath work. And we're going to move from the breath work into a morning, which you're going to love, Marcus, with the whole thing about the creativity with Robert Binder and the brothers Corin and Ping Ho. It's all about how the creative mind works. And the exciting thing for somebody like me, who's a cultural creative anyway, is that the things that I always believed about creativity, they're proving in their research that the creative brains just pull from lots of different curious places.
Yes, yes, I love it. And I think that I don't know that much about creativity, so I'm definitely going to watch all these talks. But I do think that an open mind starts with an open heart. You
Ah.
often think, "Oh, I'm so open-minded." No, 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 I'm actually not. Open-minded when I'm in a vulnerable heart space. And I think that's what the breath work, hopefully, if I do my job right, then it will happen. So I would, if you really want to sleep in, then sleep in. But if you want to crack your heart open to really get the most out of the talks after, then come to the breath work before.
That's great. I'm going to be the one who's greeting you that morning at the breathwork session. So I'll take attendance. Thank you very much for your time. And I look forward to the other people you're bringing as well.
That's gonna, I think you've met Josh. He was there last year. He is such a deep, deep soul.
I love that.
And Fariba is, I mean, she's the most, it's interesting because she's the most trusted person in my whole clinical staff of 12 people. Like people who walk in after 5 minutes be like, she's the one I trust the most. And people who've known her for 5 years are like, she's the one I trust the most.
Wow.
Really.
Great. All right. Well, I really thank you for your time and thanks a lot.
Bye.
Bye.